Hello and welcome back to the channel. It's been a while since we posted anything public here on the Canadian Carp Society YouTube channel. Most of our content is unlisted and available for members through the platform, but this year we decided to do our live challenge draw here through a live premiere. So we have 30 anglers in the challenge series this year, so we have 4 brackets that will determine the people who go into the finals. And out of the 4 brackets, the 3rd bracket is probably going to end up in a 1 versus 1 versus 1 instead of just a 1 versus 1 to determine who moves on, because we didn't get 32 anglers this year. So we're working with what we have, and I have 30 names here. I'm going to put them in the bucket, and then we'll draw them at random here to see who is going against each other. So let's get right into it. Okay, so first name out of the bin is Dawson Caddo, number 1, and he is going up against Wayne Smith. So that should be an interesting one. That's our first matchup. Next name, we have Jeff Christian in that first bracket. He has done very well in our previous challenges, so it's going to be tricky for whoever comes against him. And Tyler Andrews is up against Jeff Christian. So I think they sort of fish around the same area, so that should be very interesting, those two. Next up, we have Dave Pendlebury, and he is going up against Louis Michel Gravel, or Mitch. He just signed up at the last minute, so Dave is up against him. Next, we have Adam Battersby. Another guy able to catch some big fish. And he is up against Ben Battersby. So the Battersby brothers up against each other. That should be interesting. I don't know if they're going to fish the same location or if they'll choose different locations. It'll be very interesting to see who comes out on top in that one. So next up we have Sean Valley, and he is up against Nathan Savoy. Sorry if I mispronounce names. I don't know how to pronounce everybody's name, but it is what it is. Next up we have Alex Derby, and he will be going up against Brian F. I don't know how to pronounce that last name, but there it is. And we'll be setting up all these challenge chats, so we'll get everyone together and pointed in the right direction and matched up, so it'll be pretty straightforward once we get started. Next up, Chad Normand. He did very well in the SSF, so it's going to be tricky for whoever comes up against him. And it will be Kevin. I said your name wrong last year. I said it Girolamedo. I think it's Girolamedo? It is what it is. But Kevin and Chad, you guys, that's going to be an interesting one. I'm ready for the banter for that one, because yeah, that'll be a good matchup. Next up, John Bulmer. And John is going against, I hope I don't pull my name. My name's in here. John is going against Sean Martin. These are some pretty good matches coming out here. Next up we have Jarrett Harris, another last minute sign up. And Jarrett is going up against Alexander Ranger. So there we are. Alex versus Jarrett. Next up, we have John O'Connor from Saskatchewan. It'll be interesting to see what he can do. And he is up against, what do we got here? Kiefer Day. That'll be an interesting match, because Kiefer fishes Ontario, I believe. So we'll see. They'll probably might be limited to 1 rod each with fishing against someone in Saskatchewan, but we'll see how that plays out. Next out here is Simon Stewart. Simon's looking forward to this one because he didn't get a chance to fish the SSF. He was just too busy. So see what he can do in the challenge. And he is up against LP Lordy. That one's going to be a battle. What else do we got here? Next up, we have Doug Niemeyer. And Doug, in round one, will be going up against Andrew Walker. Another Quebec angler, but he could be fishing Ontario, so we'll figure out the details of that when we get the chat set up. Next up is Nathan Cutler. Let's see who I'm against. I won't look. Find one here. I am up against Galen Yerix. So that's going to be tricky. Galen can catch some big fish in the waters he's in. So I'm going to have to strategize for that one. Next up, Anthony Russell, another one from Saskatchewan, and he is up against Sergio Clergio. Who do we have left here? Next up is Justin Lemaire, and he is going against Craig Ross. So there we are. That's all the names out of the bucket. Some very interesting matchups this year, so it's going to be interesting to see how this plays out. And probably early in the week, we will get all these chat messages set up. So everybody needs to have Messenger for this, and we'll be sending you a message just with the rules and how to set it up with the person you're fishing against. Very straightforward. There will be myself and Sean Martin as the marshals. So we will be included in those chat messages just to make sure everything goes smoothly. And yeah, good luck to everyone this year. It's going to be very interesting to see how this turns out. And like I said, I'm going to try to do updates after each round. So video updates coming to you to let you know how this challenge is going, how the anglers fared. And yeah, we name it the challenge because you never know what's going to happen. You don't really know who you're going up against, where they're fishing, conditions changing. We've done this for 2 years now, and it's quite interesting to follow along and just see some of the things that happen. Some guys, they show up to fish a spot they prepped. It's a canal spot. The canal's been drained, so they can't fish it, and just like really challenging stuff. I believe it is in the finals the first year, there was one guy, he actually had scuba divers pull up in a boat, and they were diving right over his spot. So it really is a challenge. The heat conditions we have here, we're coming into the spawn, so this first round could be tricky for a lot of anglers. And yeah, this will go right through until September, I believe, when we finish the final matches. And yeah, it can be interesting to see how it plays out, and good luck to everybody involved. It's going to be a fun one. Thanks.